Hey everybody, this is DJ Paul, and in this video what I want to do is show you how to install the WK-4S Caster Kit for the SRX 718S subwoofer, the VRX 918 SP or S subwoofers, which can also be used on the SRX 800, such as the SRX 818 SP or 828 SP. They all use the same caster kit, which is nice. A lot of this stuff also works for the SRX 900 series, which is the 918 and 928S, although those use a slightly different caster kit, which is the ACK1. I think really only the big difference is those are black. But anyway, let's talk about it. I know you can get these cheaper, but I chose to get the WK-4S kit from JBL. The reason being, it comes with 4 swivel casters. There is a WK-4 kit as well, which only comes with 2 swivel casters and 2 straight non-swivel casters. That's a big pain in the ass to try to move around, so I would really recommend getting the one with 4 swivel casters, which is also why I recommend not buying the Rockville $30 one, because that one has 2 swivel casters and 2 normal ones. But yeah, let's talk about how to attach these. So basically, inside the box, you will see you get 4 of the casters, which are all swivel, and you get a bag of rigging hardware, which will include 16 bolts, 16 lock washers, and 16 flat washers. And the order in which you put these is important, and it's also stated incorrectly in the manual, so hopefully JBL decides to fix that for the 900 series. But yeah, so the first thing that you need to do is you want to go ahead and separate all of your bolts from your lock washers from your flat washers. So this is what the bolt looks like, this is what the flat washer looks like, and this is what the lock washer looks like, which it's like more of like a spiral thing. So go ahead and separate all of them, which is what I'm gonna do right now. Cool. The next thing you need to do is take out the 16 screws. There's 4 in each place where the caster is. And you can store these screws somewhere else, but you need to take these off in order to install the casters. So I'm lazy and I'm just gonna use a power drill, take these out. Cool. Once you've done that, is what you want to do is start by attaching the casters to the areas. Now the way in which you need to do this is you need to take each bolt. First thing you need to do is put the lock washer on. And then what you want to do is put the flat washer on. So you want to do it in that particular order. You want to put the lock washer on and then the flat washer on. Then thread it through the caster into the holes that are left there. It's really important you do the lock washer first. In the SRX 900 manual, the user manual, they actually tell you to put the flat washer first and then the lock washer. This is incorrect. If you look in the SRX 900 rigging manual, they tell you the correct way, which is backwards. So hopefully if JBL is watching this video, please correct that. You definitely don't want, you want to put the lock washer in this way so it doesn't come loose. So once again, take your bolt, put the lock washer on first, put the flat washer on, and then what you're going to do is start screwing it into one of the holes that are left. And you can basically, what I would do is put them first, not very tight, so you can just kind of like leave it hanging and put all of the casters on first, and then what you can do is go ahead and tighten them. So what I'm gonna do now is very quickly go ahead and just thread all the bolts through and start just hand tightening them a little bit in. Awesome. Now once you've done that, what I find is it's generally nice to just go ahead and try to hand tighten them a little bit. You don't want to work too hard with your fingers, especially if you're doing a bunch of these at once. You can get blisters, but I find, generally thread them through until it becomes a little tricky. Some will go in a little further than others. Then is what you want to do once you've kind of gotten them all in, or at least all started. Now you can use a crescent wrench to tighten them, but what I think is the easiest for the WK-4S is to use a socket wrench with a 1/2 inch bolt attachment. Now, if you're using the ACK1, which is in the SRX 900 subs, you will have to use an 8mm hex key. That's what you would use to tighten it. That goes in, whereas the WK-4S just uses what's in a standard socket wrench, which you can use with the 1/2 inch bolt. So you can go ahead and tighten each of the bolts. Now you want to make sure they're tight, but they don't have to be the tightest you can go. Once again, as long as they're tight enough that it's like kind of hard to do it, you don't want to necessarily make it as tight as possible. Use every ounce of your strength, but just get it pretty tight so that you can't unscrew with your fingers, and they should stay for a while. I've had the casters on my 8/28s and 8/18s for like 4 or 5 years, never had an issue with it. I would say be careful when you are installing them. You don't want to accidentally drop a bolt down the hole. I have had that happen with the 8/18s. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and tighten the rest of these, and then we'll be good to go. Cool. One thing, good just to double check all of the bolts. Make sure everything is tight and in position. And that should be it. You've installed the casters on your JBL subs, which makes them a heck of a lot easier to move than try to carry them everywhere. Anyways, hope you found this video helpful and enjoy your JBL subs. I haven't gotten a chance to hear the new SRX 928s, but if it's anything like the other JBL subs that I've heard or own, like the SRX 728Ss, STX 828s, SRX 9 or 828 SPs, or the passive versions, as well as the G28s, I'm sure they're going to be awesome. So thanks for watching, and hope you found this helpful.